strong and sweet win for the Heat here in the city of Charlotte. Welcome back. Heat Live, presented by Verizon. Post-game edition following a feel-good 128-120 victory over the Heat. For the Heat over the Charlotte Hornets. They're 3-0 in the season series with Charlotte. Miami took a big step in the right direction tonight. They improved their record to 35-29. This is the first time they've been 6 over 500 since December the 3rd. Coming up, Coach Bo's post-game press conference. John Crotty and Jax will talk over the big win here in Charlotte tonight. We'll take you inside the visitors' dressing room here at the Spectrum Center, and we'll hear from a Heat team that was short on manpower but had plenty of willpower tonight. What a great win for Miami. Without Norman Powell, without Andrew Wiggins, without Simone Fontecchio and Niko Jovic, but with enough, as Eric Spoelstra likes to say. John, you know, it's been a weakness of the Heat this year. They were 1-23 in games where they trailed through three quarters. Tonight, amazing.
It was such a fun game. I mean, back and forth, each team punching each other and responding. And the fourth quarter was Miami's time to move ahead and make plays, and I thought their experience showed through. The shot making of Tyler HERRO and leadership of Bam Adebayo really made a difference too. But I'd love to talk about Tyler if we could to kick off the program. What do you think?
Why don't you just segue right into Tyler
on.
HERRO's best night of the season? He had 35 points, a season high. He also made 8 triples, a season high, and season highs in rebounds and assists with 9 of each.
Yeah, he really got it going, and he's really picking up. His conditioning is there. His legs are under him. With Norman Powell out, he clearly understands and knows that he's got to be the guy who's the focal point, who's making the shots, and he's taking that challenge on and thriving right now. That play right there on the give-and-go hatchet was just spectacular. His ability to catch and shoot with range, but also to mix it up with those pull-ups, getting to the rim, make him so hard to guard. It was a tremendous performance. Not only did he score, he had 9 rebounds and he had 9 assists, using at times the double team against the Charlotte Hornets to set up others.
And think about this, the 8 for 10 3-point shooting. The only thing, all those numbers take a backseat too. How about 0 turnovers for HERRO in over 37 minutes of work? Our good Greek move of the game. Tyler HERRO was terrific. His best game of the season. By the way, Tyler HERRO tonight was a plus 19, so if you believe in plus minus, nobody graded out better than Tyler tonight. Another guy that had a big hand in this was Bam Adebayo. 24 points. He also had 12 rebounds. John, he had a big fourth quarter tonight for the Heat.
He faced some adversity early. He was not in a great offensive rhythm, but he took that challenge on, and he continues to do that. I love the way Bam responded. He made some shots when the team really needed them. He took advantage using his head a lot, understanding who was guarding and reading the matchup. He moved Diabate out of the way, got physical with him when he had to, used his speed and mobility when the situation arose, and then his touch came on. When he had to battle, be physical, he did that too, and I just loved his winning type mentality in that fourth quarter. He and Tyler really showing the way for Miami. That isolation play with a short clock wound up becoming pivotal down the stretch. You can see the confidence as he's jogging back. The shot-making ability continues to improve for Bam.
And a 12-point fourth quarter for the captain. By the way, the Heat are now 19-2 in games where they score at least 126. The number 2 scoring team in the league averages 120 a game, and tonight they put up 128 on the second night of a back-to-back. This was a very solid and strong win for Miami. Let's give you one last look at the standings, what it means on the standings, because Miami's trying to hunt down a top 6 spot in the East that gets you right into the playoffs, and you could forget the play-in. And here's what tonight's win did for Miami. Leaped them over an Orlando team that's 4-0 against the Heat with 1 game left. The Heat are now just a percentage point, a 10th of a percentage point behind the 76ers. They have 1 game left against Philadelphia. The season series is even at a game apiece. And John, the Heat are only a game behind Toronto. As for Charlotte, we'll see where they are when we see them next, because between then and now and then, they got 4 straight on the road beginning at Phoenix on Sunday. But that's their problem. The Heat building off a big win tonight. It's now 4 straight wins, 7 of their last 9, and John finding their groove and appear to be trending and peaking at exactly the right time.
This was an exciting game because of the competitive nature, too. Last 2 games against Brooklyn, to me, more businesslike. They're games that Miami should win on their home floor against a team that's really struggling. This game on a back-to-back, mental toughness. We got in late last night. They had to respond from the get-go against a talented team that was playing with great confidence on a 6-game winning streak and just answering that bell and doing it, again, for 4 quarters. There wasn't that tremendous drop-off in one quarter that allowed Charlotte to gain a lead and get even more momentum.
11-4 are the Heat on the second game of a back-to-back. That talks about your emotional stability and your mental toughness. This was a Miami Heat win in every way tonight. Jason Jackson will join John for the rest of your Heat Live postgame. He presented by Verizon. I'm Eric Reed. We enjoyed this win with you, Heat Nation. We'll see you Sunday when the Heat take on the Pistons in Miami.
Yeah, I really want our guys, to have these kind of moments. That's what I've been saying for the last month. This is the best time of year. We feel like our game has been trending in such a great way, both ends of the court. Our defense is just getting more consistent. You see the efforts and you see more guys making an impact. And then offensively, we felt that way for since the turn of the new year, that our offense has been going in a good way. But now it becomes about these competitive games, where both teams know what's at stake. And, as competitors, this is what you live for. And I know how much, the game means to our guys in the locker room, how competitive they are. So I just want them to, have these moments, going down the stretch. And it was great to see our guys respond.
Yeah, down the stretch, the fourth quarter, 30-19 was the score. What did you like about that framing?
Yeah, just the amount of efforts that you have to make to be able to defend a team like Charlotte. I mean, they're an explosive offensive team. We all know, what they've done the last 6 weeks. They're putting points on the board in a hurry, and they're doing it against everybody. And there's nothing easy about it. You got to be able to extend your defense to 26 feet on so many of their guys because of their range. But, to hold them to 19, in the moments of truth, that's what we've been, really talking about. If you just take our game on paper, the last several weeks, looks like we should have more wins, but you have to actually do it in the moments of truth. And it was really gratifying to see our guys respond, in those pressure moments defensively.
Offensively, Tyler was just 35-9-9. But what are you thinking when he's coming off those screens? He's going to get the shot late. He's going to take it. What's that like for you?
It was really great to see. There were so many guys that had an impact, on the game. You can go on down the line. But the end, our 2 cornerstones, brought us home. Bam and Tyler. And Tyler, has you can see that he's been gaining more rhythm, each game. And tonight, the 3-ball, finally, started to go for him. And then you can just see how that just opens up, so much stuff for his game. Now you're leaning, and then he can put the ball on the floor. He's got already the touch with the floater and all that stuff. So, he just was sensational tonight. Having a place where he could create, something for us offensively, but also on the other side. I mean, it would have been great to see him have a triple-double because he had that kind of impact. He was moving the ball when he needed to. He was scoring when he needed to. He was manipulating the defense when he needed to. And then the 9 rebounds, and a lot of them when we were in our zone, those were, needed because, they're a handful, on the glass.
Drew playing all 12 minutes of those fourth quarters, what led into that decision?
Yeah, I was ready to go back, but he was so dynamic, in our zone. He was so disruptive. He had the steal, which I gotta look at the replay. I don't know how he got the steal and then, threw it off of, the leg for a possession for us. But he had deflections. He was getting him out of the rhythm of what they normally wanted to do. And then he was the screener on the other end. So he was just very nuanced to be able to help Tyler, get to what we wanted to get to. And he earned it. And then I thought it was fitting. He had the biggest, offensive rebound tip in, that kind of created the separation that we needed to end it.